and slow, paint skies with gold. Coffee in hand, the stories unfold. This ain't just a show, it's where hearts align. A place to unwind, where peace we find. Cannabis drifts on the morning breeze, bringing calm to the mind, setting souls at ease. Together we gather, no need to pretend. The Cove's where the day and good vibes begin. Come on in, let the love unfold.
Come on in, let it unfold.
In the warmth of community, hearts turn gold.
Hearts turn gold.
The Cove is more than a show on display.
More than a show.
It's a place to belong, where we start the day.
We start the day.
So rise with the sun, let the blessings flow.
Let it flow.
With coffee and peace, we let the spirit grow. Some come to laugh, some come to share. Every story told shows someone's care. We lift each other, hand in hand. Through life's storms, together we stand. The circle's wide, there's room for all. No judgment here, just love's gentle call. Every morning's a chance to reset, renew, to breathe, to heal, and see life through. Come on in, let the love unfold.
Come on in, let it unfold.
In the warmth of community, hearts turn gold.
Hearts turn gold.
The Cove is more than a show on display.
More than a show.
It's a place to belong, where we start the day.
We start the day.
So rise with the sun, let the blessings flow.
Let it flow.
With coffee and peace, we let the spirit grow. It's where hearts connect.
Hearts connect.
Where hope is planted and love takes effect.
Love takes effect.
A sacred space where kindness flows.
Kindness flows.
And every soul finds a place to grow.
Let's grow.
Come on in, let the love unfold.
Come on in, let it unfold.
In the warmth of community, hearts turn gold.
Hearts turn gold.
The Cove is more than a show on display.
More than a show.
It's a place to belong, where we start the day.
We start the day.
So rise with the sun, let the blessings flow.
Let it flow.
With coffee and peace, we let the spirit grow.
It's a Cove kind of morning, leading the way. It's gonna be a good day, can you feel that beat? Motivation's in the air, get up on your feet. From the morning hustle to the sunset glow, with Cove TV on, let the good vibes show. So smile big, let your worries melt away. It's gonna be a good day, come what may. Every sunrise brings a brand new chance, so let's take today, make it a dance. With every breath in and every step ahead, we're writing our story, enough said. It's gonna be a good day, can you feel that beat? Motivation's in the air, get up on your feet. From the morning hustle to the sunset glow, with Cove TV on, let the good vibes show. So smile big, let your worries melt away. It's gonna be a good day, come what may. So rise up, Cove Crew, let's make it bright. Positivity shining, everything's right. It's gonna be a good day, let's seize it true. With Cove TV mornings, it's all about you.
It's a brand new day, Cove TV's here to brighten your way. Coffee brews, the rhythm feels right. Spark your morning, let's take flight. Feel the buzz, let the energy ignite. We're your crew, bringing morning delight. So grab your cup and let it flow. Cove TV morning, let's start the show. Coming up next is the show you know. Cove TV morning, where good vibes grow. Hit that like, don't forget to share. Wake the world, let's go anywhere. First light to the mellow groove, we're here together, finding our move. Conversations flow, hearts align. Cove TV morning, where moments shine. Whether you're near or miles away, we're the start of a beautiful day. Roll it up, sip it slow. Cove TV morning, let's start the show. Your head, let the good vibes rain. Cove TV's magic, ease in the strain. Every laugh, every note we play reminds us all it's a brand new day. Coming up next is the show you know. Cove TV morning, where good vibes grow. Hit that like, don't forget to share. Wake the world, let's go anywhere.
Push the goddamn button.
Push the goddamn button!
Good Friday morning, everybody. What up, Man-Bear?
Cannabis, coffee, cake, and all you amazing Covers out there. Happy Friday.
Dang. Cheers, everybody. Good morning, my beautiful Amber. How are you, dear? I hope you are having a wonderful, wonderful morning.
Good morning, Crystal. Welcome to Friday in the Cove.
Good morning, Ma. How are you? I hope you're having a wonderful morning.
Good morning. How are you doing, Jessica? Good morning.
Good morning, Vicki. How are you? I hope you're having a wonderful morning.
Good morning, Bill. What's up, Superman?
Good morning, Deb. How are you? I hope you're having a wonderful morning.
Good morning, DJ Ashley Stevens. Welcome to Friday.
Good morning, D. How are you? I hope you're having a wonderful morning.
What's up, Kay? How are you doing?
Good morning, Fabi. How are you? I hope you're having a wonderful morning.
Good morning, Stephen Miller. How you doing, brother? I hope you are well, man.
I hope everybody's having a wonderful, wonderful start to their Friday morning. It's been a great morning here. And good morning, Cody. How are you, man? Hope you're having a wonderful morning. Wake and bake, everybody. Cheers.
The morning's here, the horizon glows. With every comment, a connection grows. Coffee steam rises, a comforting sight. Your smiles, your vibes make the day feel right. The Cove awakens, together we shine. Each of you here is a blessing divine. Cannabis sparks and the laughter flows. In this sunrise moment, the magic shows. Wake up with you, it's a beautiful start. The Cove's a place that's close to my heart. Each voice, each laugh, a melody true. Sunrise sessions wouldn't shine without you. Through every dawn, we've built this bond. A family of light, stretching far and beyond. Rolling the herb, sharing the brew. Moments like this feel sacred with you. The rhythm of life, gentle and kind, echoes in hearts with peace intertwined. Together we stand as the morning breaks. A sunrise with you is all it takes. Wake up with you, it's a beautiful start. The Cove's a place that's close to my heart. Each voice, each laugh, a melody true. Sunrise sessions wouldn't shine without you. Wake up with you, it's a beautiful start. The Cove's a place that's close to my heart. Each voice, each laugh, a melody true. Sunrise sessions wouldn't shine without you. Every smile you share, every story told, a treasure we hold, more precious than gold. You lift the light, you brighten the way. The Cove feels alive with you every day.
Good morning, Candy. How are you? Good morning, Nathan. How are you, man? Good morning, CJ. How are you? Hope you're having a wonderful day. Good morning, Erica.
Taylor Swift said it best, eh? Haters gonna hate, hate, hate. I'm just gonna shake, 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 shake it off. And you yell the F word really, really loud once everyone else is awake. That's the one thing too. You gotta yell some F bombs once in a while to get that stress out. People, and the best thing about yelling an F bomb is nobody knows why they just heard the loudest F they've ever heard. But you know that it's good therapy, so you'll be all right. Everyone else will kind of call you and be like, "Hey, how come you just yelled the F bomb louder than Homer Simpson?" Anybody remember that episode?
All right, morning update for Friday, January 17th, 2020, something or another. 1 second. Turf war. Well, dodgeball yesterday was awesome. Much love to the teams that won. Turf wars was dope last night. Red Cobras are in 16th or first place with 16 properties. Let's go. Nightshade Brotherhood lost last night. The Falconettis kept their compound. White Tigers did win. Today.
Sorry.
And then this morning we'll do our morning speaker and this ain't history and our company man, and then some marble racing this afternoon. We got basement brawl tonight.
I think you and I both need some knucks, brother.
Yes. If you have not got your Getting Started in, please do. Amber Getting, Crystal Stoned, Ma again, Cornbread with, Vicki Mai, Bill Only, Deb Friends. It's gonna be a dope ass Friday in the Cove.
I mean, every day's dope in the Cove, but yeah, Friday's good. Friday's good. So how's your temperature this morning?
Let me see here. It says -2, but that doesn't seem right. It's actually not bad out.
I think we're like 25 Fahrenheit, but by the end of the weekend, we're dropping down to like 9-10 degrees. I don't like it, man. Oh, I found a really good Fahrenheit Celsius chart. Has every temperature going up to like -400 something degrees Fahrenheit, and then what it would be in Celsius. And I was like, oh, that's so helpful. I got a screenshot of that.
That's fucking awesome. What has everybody got going on for their Friday today? Anything fun or special planned?
A little bit busy this afternoon. May not be around right away for the afternoon show, but yeah, some dump runs, probably more. Kind of doing spring cleaning now since winter hasn't really hit British Columbia yet. You know, we just kind of got the wind. We haven't got the yet. There's been like no snow compared to the last 2 years. It's been going downhill, and yeah, it's good and bad, I guess. The snow is kind of like a paradox here because when there's a lot of snow, the roads are horrible, but I get a lot of work, right?
Right.
When there's no snow, I got no snow shoveling work. So it's like, you know, you 6 of one, half a dozen the other. I kind of want both. But yeah, it's going to be a great Friday.
Of course that counts. Of course. I mean,
yeah. That's just like yesterday. My wife, man, she's been really nice, and she said I was pretty. What she really said was I'm pretty annoying, but I like to focus on the positive.
Right. We are 2 minutes out, everybody. Make sure you are grinding up, packing up, rolling up, heating up, coffeeing up, Friday and up.
So I got to ask, have you had many nose dabs this morning, or you've been taking it easy?
Just a few this morning.
Just a few. You've been light nose dab morning?
A moderate to light. Nothing.
Moderate to light. You're like, well, I wouldn't say light. I'd be like, yeah. Yeah, no, I got this Green Monster from the dispensary. And I laughed so hard when they were like, you should get Green Monster. And I was like from Grandma's Boy? And they're like, what do you mean? I was like, oh, God, right. You're like a millennial or something. I'm like, you don't even really know what Grandma's Boy is because it came out like 20 years ago, and I'm old. Seriously, the 19th anniversary was the other day. Grandma's Boy re-released.
Hey, Austin, what up, man? How are you? I hope you're having a wonderful morning.
Yeah. It's going to be a pirate-tastic Friday. Yarg. Start your weekend off right. Morgan sleeping?
She was just up eating, and now she's laying on the floor.
Ah, nice. I love how your dog has like chilling Cove mornings too, man. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, your dog's
great.
like, I'm with the flow. I got you.
She's such a dope dog. I don't know what I would do without Morgan.
Yeah, Spirit's my Morgan. I just saw her on the couch, and she looked at me like, "Why are you not over here like petting me and giving me loves?" Like that look, like how do cats learn the sad puppy dog face look? I never understood that, but they do it. It's just their own version. Happy 420.
Happy 420, everybody.
Smoke weed every day.
Good morning, Christina. How are you? I hope you're having a wonderful morning. Good morning, Smoka. How are you, man? I hope you're having a wonderful morning. Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty excited for the day. I don't know.
He's pretty. Did you just nose dab?
No. Wait.
No.
Yeah, I double nose dabbed at the beginning.
Oh, okay. You can tell it hits different. It hits different than regular dabs. I don't care what anyone says, and not in a bad way. It's different.
It's just different. So yeah, I'm gonna try to keep putting a schedule post. Yay! Better late than you're never late, man. Smoke out. Sorry, I'm super high. You're just early for later. But I'm gonna try to put a schedule post out on the Cove page every morning, so everybody can see what we have going on each day. We kind of do something similar but something different every day, and so that kind of try to put that out before the morning show. Like an hour. I usually try to put it out like an hour before the morning show, but that way if anybody isn't sure what the schedule is for the day, they can see that. Like tonight we have Basement Brawl. Come out 9 p.m. Eastern time and see if we can get some Nucks. Or like our Saturday night shows rotate. Tomorrow night is the Saturday night trivia showdown, where it's Man-Bear now this month versus the Yerpers.
And the Yerpers have been doing good.
So I don't know.
It's is it 3-on-3 the trivia, I believe?
Yep.
Yes, so it'll be me as captain, Yerp as captain, and then 2 other awesome, amazing audience participators.
Yes, I do believe Smoka and Boxman are the Yerpers on Yerp's team. So, Smoka, I know you're watching, but we'll definitely need you up on stage tomorrow night for the game show.
Clear your schedule for tomorrow night, buddy, because we want to see your awesome face up here, getting the smoke and the trivia on with the Yerpers and the Boxman and the Man-Bear and whoever else wants to join the Man-Bear team.
And we'll see who ends up on Man-Bear's team, because and then me and Costa will be the hosts, and it's I'm excited for. I love trivia. I think it's fun.
So would next rotation you be captain then? For like if we're doing rotation, no?
Nope. So then if you win, then it would be you versus Copsy's team. So it'll rotate between you 3 always.
Oh, that's cool. No, I just didn't know. That's cool. Good deal. Good. Cool beans. Cool beans. Sorry. I love that movie. Stuntman was awesome. That was actually my first introduction to Adam Sandberg, and I try to watch everything he's done.
Yes, once a month on Saturday night, Christina, we do team trivia. So like last month it was Yerp and Smoka and Jeremy versus, I want to say, Kopsky and Gab Forge and Trista. And then and so then Yerp's team won, so there will be the returning champions. And then we'll tomorrow night at 9 p.m.
I love it.
Yeah, I love the different rotations of games that we got from the session. Yeah, I love the face game.
Oh god, the face game's so much harder than you think. Like, and I don't know how Kopsy is a master. Kopsy is like, he's like, I don't know how he does it, man. I can't do it. But yeah, face game is awesome. Trivia is really exciting. I've actually always kind of played trivia. Growing up with an older generation, they were into Trivial Pursuit and all that stuff. So it's kind of funny, but I always used to listen to their games before I was able to play. And then when I started playing Trivial Pursuit, they're like, how do you know all these answers? But I've been listening to these damn answers for like 10 years, man. I just memorized them, man. I don't know them. They're like, are you serious? I was like, yeah, I'm serious. Yeah, Saturday rotation, game night, monthly, weekly, it's awesome. Keeping y'all on your toes. We don't get stagnant over here. We awesome. We new year, new Cove. So awesome, right, Beanz?
Yeah. I'm very, very excited for this year in the Cove.
Yeah. Yeah, everything's just going the way, we just kind of want to, and it's just good. It's all good. I'm really excited being the captain of the Kodiak Kings. I know we didn't have the best outing on Thursday, but I'm still riling off of our last weekend victory. So,
Hey, good morning, Coxie. How are you, man? I hope you're having a wonderful morning.
I know for sure that I can say he is happy. It is the Friday. Yeah. Not Friday.
Let's play a song and we'll dive into our this day in history.
Perfect.
Let's go with this one.
Strike the flame, let the ember ignite. A spark of truth in the heart of the night. Rolling waves meet the sky so wide. In the cove where we let the world collide. Pass it around, let the moment stay. The cove's a beacon, lighting the way. Every puff, a connection is born. Through the smoke, we weather the storm. The ritual's here, a bond so tight. Rolling together under soft starlight. The fire burns, it warms our soul. In the cold, we all feel whole. Light the way, let the spark take flight. Take flight. Through the haze, we shine so bright. Cannabis skies, where hearts align. Hearts align. Light the way, it's our time to unwind. Pack it tight, watch the magic glow. A ritual, only the Cove will know. From bongs to blunts, it's all the same. The spark unites us, it's not a game. Sip your coffee, feel the rise. The morning haze meets golden skies. Cannabis clouds float high above. The Cove is a haven of light and love. Hand to hand, the circle flows. A place where only good vibes grow. Feel the rhythm, let it stay. Together in the Cove, we light the way. Light the way, let the spark take flight. Take flight. Through the haze, we shine so bright. Cannabis skies, where hearts align. Light the way, it's our time to unwind.
The way, let the spark take flight. Take flight. Through the haze, we shine so bright.
Cannabis skies, where hearts align. Light the way, it's our time to
You gonna make it, Man-Bear? All right, we got this day in history coming up with the most amazing Vicki Bowers. January 17th.
Hi there, and welcome to This Day in History for January 17th. Let's take a look at some things related to this day. As always, we'll take a look at a word, check into some events, talk about a song. Alrighty, here we go. Hi there, and welcome to This Day in History for January 17th. January 17th is the 17th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, with 348 days remaining to the end of the year, 349 in leap years. January the 17th is Christian feast day of St. Anthony the Great. He's believed to have been born in Egypt about the year 251 and chose to sell all his possessions and live as a hermit, choosing an ascetic lifestyle. He lived pretty much in nature, his diet consisting of nothing more than bread, salt, and water. While there were ascetics and hermits before Anthony, he's thought of as the first monk or the father of monasticism and Christianity because of the community that grew up around him. This Anthony lived to the age of 105. There's also St. Anthony of Padua, the patron saint of lost things, but today's St. Anthony the Great is the patron saint of animals, skin diseases, farmers, butchers, basket makers, brush makers, and grave diggers. St. Anthony the Great. Today's word is penury. Penury is a noun that means extreme poverty or destitution, scarcity or inadequacy, absence of resources. I guess St. Anthony the Great lived in penury by choice. Some example sentences could be, after years of penury, the artist finally achieved recognition and financial stability, or the drought led to widespread penury in the region, leaving many families struggling to survive. We see the word penury in William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, Act 5, Scene 1. Romeo uses the word in a soliloquy where he talks about the penury, the extreme poverty of an individual who might be compelled by his desperate circumstances to do something illegal to make some money, highlighting the desperation and destitution associated with the term penury. The word penury comes from a Latin word that meant want, scarcity, or need, derived from a root word that referred to provisions or food supplies, suggesting a lack of the essentials for life. The term entered the English language in the 1300s. Penury. The word penury was suggested by YouTube viewer at TJPayur5331. Thanks, TJ. And if you have a word you'd like us to investigate in this Word of the Day segment, drop it in the comments. We'll take a look at it. And with that, this is the birthday of American publisher, diplomat, inventor, and politician Benjamin Franklin, born January 17th, 1706. Included in his long list of accomplishments, several of which I've mentioned in previous episodes, he was the first United States Postmaster General. He packed a lot of life into his years for sure. Benjamin Franklin lived to the age of 84. This is the birthday of the amazing actress, game show panelist, television personality, and animal rights activist Betty White. Born January 17th, 1922. What a gal. She was in the midst of planning her 100th birthday party when she passed away, just a few weeks shy of it at the age of 99. Betty White. This is the birthday of musician, singer, songwriter, actress, and author Susanna Hoffs, born January 17th, 1959. Along with sisters Debbie Peterson and Vicki Peterson, Susanna was one of the founding members of the Bangles in 1981. We've talked about the Bangles a few times, and fairly recently at that. The Bangles split up in 1989, but got back together in 1999 and released a couple more albums in 2003 and 2011. Besides that, Ms. Hoffs has appeared in films, made some solo albums, and written a book called This Bird Has Flown, published in 2023. Happy birthday, Suzanne Hoffs. Hazy Shade of Winter was written by Paul Simon, and Simon and Garfunkel released it as a standalone single in October of 1996. It was later released on their album Bookends in 1968. Nearly 2 decades later, the Bangles recorded a cover of Hazy Shade of Winter for the soundtrack to the 1987 film Less Than Zero. The Bangles version was released as a single in November of 1987, and it went to number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. Interestingly, A Hazy Shade of Winter didn't appear on any of the Bangles' studio albums, but it was included on their first official Greatest Hits album that came out in 1990. A Hazy Shade of Winter by the Bangles. Links to both the Bangles and Simon & Garfunkel's versions of Hazy Shade of Winter in the description. And there you have it for January 17th. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, stay safe, be kind, and stay curious. Yep, I think that's good. All right. And I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with a link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoy this series, you can check out the playlist that contains these videos. I'll put a link to that in the description. That playlist lives on YouTube, so for other platforms, I'll include a link to my blog page. It's called No Really. You can also find me on Rumble, BitChute, and Odyssey. All those links in that description. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.
Much love, Vicki B. I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are.
If you're not already, like, share, and follow Vicki Bowers on YouTube, Facebook, everything else she's got from Rumble, BitChute. What am I I'm missing? Odyssey. Make sure you like, follow, share. Thank you very much, Vicki Day, for this day in history every day. We much appreciate it, and really good way to start our day off with a little bit of knowledge. So thank you so much.
There is the song for the day.
Hey, come on, you guys don't like the Bangles? We're not friends. Come on, straight up, we're not friends. You don't like the Bangles? What's wrong with you guys?
Right? It's fucking dope. I love it.
I mean, they are a great band. So many good hits. Come on. That's the best thing about music back in the day. Anybody could write a song, and any band can make it sound good. Any music from the 50s up, if you think about it, there was people writing music for everybody. Everybody's, from, like I just said, Paul Simon and all of them were writing music, and everybody else was playing it. And like, I just love that about early music, is it wasn't so greedy as it is now. Like, you can't have my sample, copyright law, blah, blah. Hey guys, we wrote a song. Who wants to play it? You know what? You know the difference? Like, people were writing music for other people, not trying to copyright their stuff and hide it. I just think it's very opposite of how it used to be. You know what I mean? I mean, I believe that in the 50s, 60s, 70s, everyone was making and sharing music because they love to play, make, and share music. And then as we rolled through the 80s, 90s, and the O's and stuff, everyone's like, copyright law, that's mine, you can't have it. When if they didn't do that, their music would have been probably much more appreciated and shared and stuff, because they weren't so tight bound with it. If someone wants to play my music in their band, I would be so happy. If I heard a cover of a song I wrote, oh my God, that would touch my heart, man. I wouldn't think you're copying me. Like, hey, that's my song. And then they give you credit for writing. Oh, by the way, it was written by Man-Bear's band. Sweet. You know? Man-Bear and the Cubs. Come on.
Ooh, I like that. All right. We'll play a song, and then we'll see where we're at with our morning, everybody. Cheers.
We got the vibes on high, rolling smooth. Energy electric, locked in the groove. Beats are kicking, clouds drifting by. Riding these waves, reaching the sky. Vibes on high, moving with flow. Feeling alive as the rhythm grows. Dancing free, no limits, no lie. With the crew, just vibes on high. Smooth energy, electric, locked in the groove. Beats are kicking, clouds drifting by. Riding these waves, reaching the sky. Vibes on high, moving with flow. Feeling alive as the rhythm grows. Dancing free, no limits, no lie. With the crew, just vibes on high. Just vibes on high. We got the vibes on high, rolling smooth. Energy electric, locked in the groove. Beats are kicking, clouds drifting by. Riding these waves, reaching the sky. Vibes on high, moving with flow. Feeling alive as the rhythm grows. Dancing free, no limits, no lie. With the crew, just vibes on high. We got the vibes on high, rolling smooth. Energy electric, locked in the groove. We got the vibes on high, rolling smooth. Energy electric, locked in the groove. Beats are kicking, clouds drifting by. Riding these waves, reaching the sky. Vibes on high, moving with flow. Feeling alive as the rhythm grows. Dancing free, no limits, no lie. With the crew, just vibes on high. Oh, yeah, yeah. We got the vibes on high, rolling smooth. Energy electric, locked in the groove. We got the vibes on high, rolling smooth. Energy electric, locked in the groove.
It's been a dope ass morning, Denise. Just been kind of working on a few things and lots of coffee, weed, and ciggies.
Now I remember why I didn't hit the bong right away. Because the bong hits back. Ooh. It's pretty good when you can move the cloud with your hand to get it out of your way. I was going like this. I was like, okay, you can move. You're too much now. Moving it like pea soup. Well, it's like, you remember the old Scooby-Doo cartoons? It's so thick you could cut it with a knife. And there's Scooby-Doo, like, cutting out a square of the cloud. Love that.
So, what do you got going on today, Man-Bear? Oh, you're dying.
Due to lack of oxygen, not much. I just got to clean up, probably do some more dump runs. We got a bit of a, I think I'm the maintenance man neighbor syndrome going on. So he's like, you need to do this and that. And I'm like, you don't work for the landlords. I actually work part-time for landlords more than you do. It's kind of made me laugh. We all got one butthead neighbor. If you don't, I want to live where you live. We all got one butthead neighbor.
For real. I was that neighbor. No, I'm just kidding.
Dude, I'm not going to go into it, but this morning, he swerved to hit people's garbage cans in the alley because they didn't put it up on the hill. Like, they weren't in the way, but he moved out of his way. I'm just saying, that's ignorant, man.
That is kind of ignorant. That's kind of ignorant.
See him try and do that when we had those big green bins. He ain't running into them things.
Oh, that's great. Christina says she has some extra inhalers, but no carrier pigeons, Man-Bear. She don't think she can throw that far.
Yeah, I know. And do they need passports anymore? The pigeons, dual citizens?
I mean, they probably got to go through customs or something.
Oh, my God. Can you imagine? Strip shirts on a pigeon. Yeah, Green Monster.
Oh, go ahead.
Living up to its name. I'm just saying the Green Monster is living up to its name because it's like crushing me.
I suppose we can probably do our back-to-back track attack and do our morning speaker. Make sure you stop, take a breath, everybody.
Hey, take a moment, the world can wait. Feel the rhythm, let go of the weight. Your strength runs deep, it's always been there. Breathe it in, feel the love in the air. Each step you take is a brand new start. just take a breath, just for you. The sun is rising, your soul ignites. Feel the energy reach new heights. Challenges fade, your strength will grow. You've got the courage, let it show. Princess, stand tall, let the world see the beauty and strength that's in you and me. Every breath's a step toward the light. You're the spark that shines so bright. For you, feel the peace as it carries through. Life's a wave, let it lift you high. Each moment glows like the morning sky. Breathe it in, let the calm reside. Find your strength, let it amplify. You're enough and your heart is true. Beanz says just take a breath, just for you.
Yeah, you're right, Christina. Trailer parks are awesome, man. I actually, one of my friends lived in a trailer park. One of my most famous stories. We went to a lake down on the coast, and we're young, but almost 20 or whatever, and those like innocent teenagers who are like, "Hey, I stole a couple of joints from my dad. Let's go get baked on the playground." Yeah, that was us. So we were baked on the playground. And then my friend's like, "Hey, my other friends live around the corner in another trailer park." And I'm like, "This sounds like a bad idea, but let's go check it out." So this guy we met had 12 bottles of beer in his trench coat and a couple of knives. And we were like, "How's it going, man?" He's like, "I'm on probation. I'm not supposed to drink or be out in public or carry weapons." And I was like, "Oh, this night got off to a good start." So they wanted to borrow his car, but his car was out of gas. So we had to find gas. And how do you find gas when you're in like kind of the country? You don't, unless someone has a lawnmower. So we took some lawnmower gas and put it in the car, put it in neutral, backed it out of a 5-block trailer park because we had like a trailer park boy size trailer park to get through, and we drove around for a while and it was fun on lawnmower gas. It was a good time, Beanz. You've done it. I know you've done it. Maybe not the lawnmower gas, but you've done something like that.
Oh yeah.
And we never got caught. Car got returned, no accidents, and it was a good 3 a.m. I can't believe we're doing this kind of story. I think someone had a license. I'm pretty sure someone had a driver's license. That's what you got to make sure. Is make sure at least one of your friends is, licensed up, in case you get pulled over. We didn't get pulled over. We went back roads. It was fun.
Remember, see.
Do something nice for a stranger?
It's a new day, time to shine that light. Do something good, make the world feel right. From the Rockies to the lakes, under sky so blue. Man-Bear's got the love and it's all for you. Help a stranger, flash a smile their way. A little kindness can make their day. In this big old world, be the best you can. Man-Bear's got the plan, lend a hand, my man. Be yourself, ain't no one like you. You're rare, you're bold, and you're shining through. Spread that love, make someone's day. Man-Bear's wisdom shows the way. From snowy peaks to skies so clear. Kind words and vibes we all should hear. Stay cool, stay kind, let the good vibes grow. Be the change in the world that we all want to know. Hey! north where the spirit stays strong. We roll with love, keep the groove lifelong. Hold the door, share a laugh, it's simple and true. We're all in this together, me and you. Grab your boots and your toque, let your heart take the lead. Every small action plants a kindness seed. Stay real to yourself, let the kindness shine. Man-Bear's here to say, the future's divine. Be yourself, ain't no one like you. You're rare, you're bold, and you're shining through. Spread that love, make someone's day. Man-Bear's wisdom shows the way. From snowy peaks to skies so clear. Kind words and vibes we all should hear. Stay cool, stay kind, let the good vibes grow. Be the change in the world that we all want to know. Wave that flag, red and white, so clean. We're sparking change, building the dream team. Man-Bear says keep pushing, lift up the crew. Be yourself, ain't nothing truer than you. Red and white, so clean. We're sparking change, building the dream team. Man-Bear says keep pushing, lift up the crew. Be yourself, ain't nothing truer than you. Be yourself, ain't nothing truer than you. Take a breath, let this message guide. Man-Bear's words like a beacon inside. Do your thing, let your true self shine. One act of love at a time divine. Take a breath, let this message guide. Man-Bear's words like a beacon inside. Do your thing, let your true self shine. One act of love at a time divine.
Hey, good morning, Magic. How are you, man? I hope you're having a wonderful morning. Good morning, Lumberjack. How are you, man? Hope you're having a wonderful morning.
Booyakasha. Good morning, everybody.
Congratulations, Deb. That is dope. Come on, switch.
Oh, wow. I only got 30 years to go on mine. We just did 20 years last October 9th, which is so easy. I cannot forget it because it's literally on Canadian Thanksgiving, like pretty much every year or around it. I was like, I'm never going to forget my anniversary. Didn't plan that one out.
All right, this morning's
Okay. You good?
morning speaker is Megan O'Reilly.
Who am I? What am I going to do? What will my life look like? These are questions that students are naturally asking themselves as they graduate high school or college. But they're also questions that all of the rest of us are asking ourselves too. I know that I am certainly asking myself these questions all of the time right now. Who am I? What am I doing? What am I doing right now? Well, I mean, right now, I'm hosting a podcast. I'm a podcast host. But I'm also a comedian, whatever that means. And I used to teach fifth grade. Maybe that's who I am. I don't know. During this time in the world where so many of us are having to readjust our identities because our visions for what our life was supposed to look like have been blown off the rails, a lot of us are having to recalibrate where our self-worth comes from. So whether you are a student who is about to graduate and figuring out who you're going to be, or you're a teacher or a parent, or maybe you're just a person like me who is having these questions brought to the forefront of your brain, I think that there is a lot to be gained from talking to someone who knows how best to approach these questions. So today on the podcast, we're going to be talking with a staff psychologist devoted to youth. Here is a clip of what Dr. Megan O'Reilly had to say about self-worth at TEDx SJSU back in 2018. Obviously, 2018 was quite a while ago. And yet, I think that what Dr. O'Reilly had to say is still incredibly relevant today.
How many of you have been asked, what do you do? or what do you study? And feel like that question is going to determine how much respect or attention you receive. Oh, that looks like the whole room. Now, this is just the surface of the types of daily experiences that slowly erode away our sense of inherent value and replace it with a sense of conditional mattering. A conditional sense of self-worth means you think your worth as a person depends upon something else. Now, as a psychologist who's heard and held hundreds of human stories, I've witnessed firsthand how this mentality of feeling like you are not enough has stolen dreams, ambitions, relationships, health, and happiness away from people. So I'm here to declare enough is enough with these worth wars we're waging with one another. Think about how radically different our world and relationships would be if each of us actually acted like we all had inherent value. Again, our society is riddled with many conditions and consequences for not meeting them. And even those of us who seem to be winning at these conditions stand to lose because conditions change with time, age, or unexpected hardships. Furthermore, those of us with more minority identities have even more treacherous path because there are extra messages of unworthiness lofted upon you based on stereotype, microaggression, discrimination, prejudice, and outright hate.
We're going to hear so much more from Dr. O'Reilly and get to ask her about her work. This is How to Be a Better Human. I'm Chris Duffy, and we'll be right back. And we are back. Dr. Megan O'Reilly, thank you so much for being here.
So hello, happy to be here. I'm Dr. Megan O'Reilly. I am the staff psychologist at Stanford University and the CEO and co-founder of Inherent Value Psychology, Inc., which is my private practice in Palo Alto.
Amazing. Well, I love how this is one of the things you talked about in your TED Talk, but I also love how you do it in practice too, is not defining yourself solely by your professional life. Mm-hmm. I feel like over the past year, as there's been so much turmoil in people's professional lives, and as the economy has been really challenging for people, and a lot of people have lost work, it seems like many people are dealing with that like sense of identity, where if I am my job and I don't have my job, then what am I anymore?
Yeah, it's actually a really unfortunate opportunity to actually pause and begin to redefine ourselves. Without this academic downturn and loss of work, we may never had a chance to pause and start to unzip our identity from what we do. And so I want to acknowledge the grief and the loss that a lot of people are experiencing. And I want to see if we can make an opportunity out of this crisis and actually have people prompt themselves to ask, who am I outside of my work? What else defines me? What else do I enjoy? And actually use this forced pause as an opportunity to kind of make their self-definition more robust.
As someone who works a lot with students and, you see a lot of students in the day-to-day, what would you say are some of the major disruptions that they've been dealing with?
The very first one is, because I work with undergrad and graduate students at Stanford University, they are very high achieving and they've planned their future, 2, 3, 4, 5+ years in advance. And what coronavirus has done is really made a lot of those dreams deferred. A lot of them are being robbed of milestones. I still am grieving for the senior class that didn't get to walk. It's such a huge milestone. But I'm also grieving for the graduate students who are having their research pause or their dissertations pause and really feeling quite dashed. So one of the struggles I'm seeing is just the academic pace. They're having to stop, pause, revisit, and maybe even lose funding. And that's just on the academic side. More than that, I'm seeing, the isolation kick in. Some students are home, some students are on campus. They're not able to converse and really get through the hardship of academia with each other. So that's gone. And really everything that they had going on for them before this hit is being exacerbated. But the biggest one is also grief. The profound grief that people are also struggling with, not just the grief of identity, but the actual grief of people. We need to recognize that a lot of students have elderly parents or grandparents that have actually been lost to coronavirus. So they're trying to do their academic hustle while they're still, in the midst of the opening stages of grief.
It feels like that sense of disruption and the loss of milestones. I feel like that applies to so many people, whether you're a student or not. And so what is it that you are telling people to help them deal with that? How do you help students process that? Are there specific strategies we should be using?
It's a great question because a lot of us in the mental health field are creating strategies specifically for this, because even as counselors, we're in this with y'all. And so we're actually pulling on what literature is related from other prior pandemics, but really coming up and being innovative with what the best science tells us. And what I've been pulling from is the literature on self-compassion. My first strategy for students is parents, students, everyone is telling them this is not your fault, right? This is on the level of act of God type of disruption. So there's no need to additionally fault the self or feel behind or feel thwarted in your efforts. This is really something that's taking everyone by left field. And so that's actually a place where we get to feel our shared humanity, grace, and compassion. So that's usually my first door in.
You know, it's so funny when you say that, because the fact that like you're in it with us too, right? I feel like I remember right when this was all starting around March, I had a conversation, I had a session with my own therapist, and he was like, well, you have a tendency to kind of do catastrophic thinking and think that things are a catastrophe. And it's important to remember they're not always catastrophes. And then he was like, but this kind of is a catastrophe. So sometimes it's actually accurate. That's okay.
100%. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I think this kind of goes back to what you've talked about around self-worth, right? Because when we miss these milestones and when we miss the social support, that's often what we build our identity and what we build our self off of. Are there things that we should be doing to shift in that direction, to kind of use this as a productive time rather than a destructive time?
Well, let me make 2 quick tweaks to even the asking of that question.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Yes, let's fix this question, because surely I know that I am not doing it right. That is the whole point of this show, is how to be a better human, and it is not coming from the perfect human here, Chris. That is not how it's supposed to be framed.
Oh, we're all in it together, but
okay,
I
fix
do
this
think
question.
even the framing matters. So First off, you said, is there anything we should do? And I like telling my clients, because I'm a cognitive behavioral therapist, the language we use actually primes us in certain directions. So when you say should, you're already behind.
Okay.
And I tell people not to should on themselves. And that's exactly as it should sound.
Okay, great.
So I would like to change that is there anything we could do? Is there any way we can actualize our choice in this matter? All those are more empowering, active terms.
Okay, great. Let's take it again. Take 2. You're probably going to hear take 1, but now take 2. Is there anything we could do in this time?
Yes. I think this time could be a nice opportunity to actually return to something that as a culture and as a society, we've kind of moved away from, that has had detrimental impact. So that, and what I'm hinting at, is being more contemplative. So we're forced to be indoors, we're forced not to connect as much, and we're really forced to be in our own minds and in our own homes. So now that the go is kind of slowing down, and I'll talk about parents here for a second, but now that the go has slowed down, we can make our minds a better place to inhabit. We can look at how we're thinking, how we're feeling, what connections we want to invest in, how to be inventive and innovative around those things. And so I think now is a nice time to rekindle those parts of self that we really felt like we couldn't devote time to. People have been returning to nature in droves. It's the one thing that hasn't been closed. And I really feel like this has been a sparking point for people to return to nature in any meaningful way.
So for people whose children, whether they're young and in daycare, or whether they're older and in college or in high school or wherever they are, for those people who have their kids actually in a physical space, who are physically attending school, how can they mentally support their kids?
There's so
Good morning, Nikki. How are you? I hope you're having a wonderful morning. We're just hanging out doing our morning speaker. It's a TEDx podcast.
so many challenges here for both the youngsters and parents. Things as simple as, having my little one's 2 years old, so keeping her mask on outside. So things as simple as that. The first thing I would say is to kind of get clear on developmentally where your child or kid is at, and start looking at some of the best practices that the CDC and others have. Even Sesame Street has some things online about how do you talk to a kid about viruses and things like that. But for parents, I would say it starts with you, as in most things.
Yeah, and obviously this doesn't apply quite as much to, higher education, but like your Stanford students. But I used to teach fifth grade, and one of the things that I was really struck by working in an elementary school is how, the academics are very important, but so much of what you're trying to teach is how to be a compassionate, caring human being. And it feels like there's actually a real opportunity in all of the suffering and the sacrifice that we're all making around COVID. Is so much of it is about compassion and caring for our community and trying to protect the vulnerable. And I do feel like there are real lessons for kids and for adults in that.
Yeah, I think emotional check-ins can become a new family norm. Again, my daughter's 2, but me and my husband are already talking about how to check in on core emotions. So tell me something that you're proud of today. Tell me a time you felt lonely, or tell me about a time where you actually helped somebody else. Just regular prompts where you get some narrative from their day, even if it was inside all day, but you're actually hearing how they're processing things, and you can get in a different way. And you're also sharing those things too. So you're kind of building a family culture of emotional communication.
Okay, I am going to give you a second for that to sink in and for you to soak up all of that great advice while we go to a quick ad break. And we are back with Dr. Megan O'Reilly. We're talking about self-worth and self-esteem. And here is what Dr. O'Reilly said in her talk about changing the messages and the stories that we tell ourselves.
How do we unlearn an unhelpful message that is so entrenched? Disclaimer: the methods I'm briefly about to describe are not easy. They won't happen overnight, and they might not even happen over the course of years. It's a process, and I call it lifespan work. But on an individual level, let's start with the hardest task, which is to stop comparing yourself to others. I know what you're thinking. How can I do this when the world around me does this constantly? Well, a full answer would pull on the literatures from self-compassion, gratitude, would likely advocate for a separation of comparing to acquire new skills and increase performance, and comparing that is harmful for your sense of self. Another part of my answer is to do something that resonates with you for its own sake. When was the last time you did something, not because it's going to show up on your resume, not because it meets that condition of worth that you're wrestling with, but just because you enjoyed it? It's probably been a while. What this does is it softens our stance toward ourselves. It allows us a zoomed out perspective and gives us a chance to experience ourselves and others in a non-conditional way. In our families, we need to nurture the unconditional self and respond with love and acceptance to successes and failures. In our schools and institutions, this is difficult because we are seeking outcomes, but a person is not a product. And we need a culture that delineates the two and helps us see that one does not define the other. So I leave you with the challenge to get started on some of this. The next time someone asks you, what do you do, or what are you studying, an attempt to qualify your worth, I want you to try to answer them from this new understanding of inherent value.
Good morning, Mindy. How are you? I hope you're having a wonderful morning. We're just hanging out doing our morning speaker.
Don't provide an occupation or a field of study. Instead, share with them something that you cherish about yourself. Try to break interpersonal ground with them and not start with labels. For example, if I could go back to that pool party and have a second chance of introducing myself, I would once again not say I'm a Stanford psychologist, but I would say that I'm a story keeper, that I show love through listening, and then I share what I learn to educate and liberate people. That says so much more about me, and it's something I do cherish about myself. And I'm really honored to have shared it with you tonight.
Okay, so Dr. O'Reilly, let's talk more about what you were saying there in the talk. so much of school, especially middle and high school and college, so much of it is actually what happens outside of class, right? Defining your identity, making friends, relationships, figuring out who you are. How can people still do that in this time where it feels like the virtual world is kind of set up solely for the instructional piece?
Hey, good morning, Waxy. How are you, man? Hope you're having a wonderful morning. We're just doing our morning speaker.
Yeah. Chris, what if I told you that now might be a purer way to figure out who you are? So now could be, if we allow it, could be a time to say, when the cameras are off, what in my own mind do I find interesting? What in my own mind do I pursue? Not just what my friends are doing. What do I find interesting? What can I dig further into? What can I geek out on without it being open to the voyeuristic judgment of my peers?
Yeah, it does kind of feel like this period, right? The recent past and presumably the next few months, no matter when you're listening to this, they've kind of blown up the entire idea of that there is something called normal, right? Like when we're all alone and we don't have this thing to compare it to, all of a sudden you realize like, what is a normal way to, it is freeing to realize like there isn't one way of doing these things.
It can be quite liberating, because one thing that I like to talk about that conditions of worth do to us is what I call the 3 C's. It makes us compare. In comparison, we know from the psychological literature, is the thief of joy. It really breaks us down. We compare, we consume, be that social media or literally consuming, like either getting our food and diet out of whack or consuming things, commodities. And then we compete. We jockey with each other, or we compete, or we go after something just because someone else had it or might have it. And that might, we feel, increase our value to the world.
You've been spending a lot of time over the past year and over the past few months, I'm sure too, talking to students who are dealing with these multiple crises, right? Social upheaval, pandemic, economic challenges, and everything else that's happening in the world as well, just the day-to-day things that are happening. Are there coping strategies that you are seeing that are really working well and that the rest of us can maybe use as well?
You know, I work with some of the most inventive and very bright students, and they have taught me a few things, and I've been able to bring some best practices to them. Some things that I've seen start to work kind of across age group and across station in life. And I mentioned it before, but it's really, I need to underscore now the importance of it, and it is setting habits. There's a lovely book called The Power of Habits. And what a habit essentially does, it takes away your decisional fatigue. Now that we're in so much uncertainty, we've just added, I don't know how many more hundreds of thousands of decisions we need to make in a day since our normal routine has been offset. So just the simple fact of setting a new routine, you know, now that commuting's not happening, when are you getting up? When are you eating breakfast? When do you log in? What things are you need to get done a day? How much can you get done in a day now that their Zoom fatigue is very real? So setting new expectations for yourself that are realistic, creating new habits really helps you kind of put some guardrails on that fatigue of your mind and that energy, so you can actually deal with just a few things off your to-do list. So that's one. Another one is getting active. What that does, it kickstarts our positive brain chemistry, a little norepinephrine. The third and last one I would say is actually get really keen on who you can connect to, even if it's just one person regularly. This disruption with isolation right now is that we feel disconnected from everyone. But if there's just one person who you can be real with, not just kind of shooting the breeze with, kind of surface level, the need.
Good morning, Kimmy. How are you? I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful day. We're just hanging out doing our morning speaker.
For connection now is a little deeper.
Do you have any tips for how to balance the really powerful and helpful structure of routine with the opportunity to use this time as a creative exploratory time?
Yeah, I think one low-hanging fruit way would be just to block off maybe an hour, maybe more of just open-ended time. A lot of us don't know how to not do anything and just be, right? A lot of us get agitated when it's too still or too quiet or we're not working on anything. So to actually build in your routine or an open phase of time where you just see what comes up, or you just start writing, or you just have a blank canvas or music playing and just see what naturally comes to your body would be a nice way to rediscover yourself and kind of break past that anxiety that's just there initially because you don't know what you're doing. Maybe you don't need to be doing anything and you can just be.
Oh my gosh. I feel like you're talking generally, but I'm hearing it very specifically to me. I'm like, oh, that's me. And I love the idea that now, after talking to you later this week, I'm going to get a little Google Calendar notification that says, in 30 minutes, do nothing. In 30 minutes, you have scheduled 1 hour of doing nothing. And I'll be like, okay, that's my time. It's on the calendar. It's a meeting.
I would love for you to do that, because my whole, I guess, mission in life is to redefine productivity as liberating the unconditional self. The most productive thing you can do for yourself and for others is care for yourself well and really liberate yourself from all these different messages on who and what you have to be happy. Happiness is oftentimes about subtraction, not addition. And in those stillness, we can get a hint of what that could look like.
That feels like a big flaw that the pandemic has exposed, right? The idea that we're ourselves because we do these things and we have all these accomplishments. And I know you've been saying this way before that, but I wonder, are there other flaws too that you feel like this time has kind of exposed in educational systems or just our society? I think it also goes to something that people are feeling, even as there is an end that we see, right? Even as we know that the vaccine will eventually, hopefully, will eventually get rid of this. It's not going to be one day, right? We now know that there's not going to be this day where, okay, we declare victory and everyone gets to go back to a crowded restaurant and we all have a big party where we go bobbing for apples in the same, I don't know why we would bob for apples at this party, but we can't do some sort of COVID dangerous activity. Instead, it's going to be a really like a personal and a slow thing where we keep having to be careful and we can be a little less careful over the months, but it's going to be a slow personal thing rather than a big collective bang. And I think that is really challenging. And we're not set up as a society to handle something like that, where you have to pay attention to yourself rather than, just mindlessly follow.
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm.
As we are transitioning into a new phase, and a lot of your students, right, there's this very defined world of you're in college and then you're done. And I know certainly people take breaks and it takes different people different amounts of time, but there's still kind of this like set framework around college. What do you tell kids or students who are finishing up and they're getting ready for this next life phase?
Yeah, Chris, there's actually so much intrepidation and rational anxiety around the job market, right? So many people are wondering if they should just postpone their academic job hunt or otherwise, if they should, just try again at a different time, do a gap year, do a co-term, kind of buy themselves time, do a postdoc. But it's really hard to shepherd them through this time because it is unprecedented. Their fears aren't irrational about, are there going to be postings open in the market that I like? Are people hiring? The freeze is just starting to thaw on certain markets. So these students and young professionals who have spent so much of their time and life force building this career, coming to this halt is actually quite distressing and angering. And so I usually just let them pour out that anger. Especially graduating from a place like Stanford, they thought they were going to have this golden key that would open any door because that's what they've been promised. But now the doors are closed due to other reasons. So I just let them pour out their anger. I help them keep their dreams alive and get savvy around how do we find out who's hiring, bust up your network, talk to people, find out people on the inside that might give you more of a true schematic of what the company's doing. But we really do have to just hold and pause that this is going to be an unforeseen kind of hustle in a different way for we don't know how long. So I hold the grief, I hold the anger, and I encourage them that all is not lost. Even if it takes them longer than their timeline to land a job, again, they can use this time to either go home, reconnect if they have that luxury, and or reimagine their time for themselves. A lot of students are actually burnt out by their senior year or end of graduate school. So again, I always try to look for the gifts in a complication that's handed to us. So perhaps this could be a year of replenishment or a year to study something else or look into another field. So for each person, it looks a little different. Let's inoculate ourselves to the first half of the year being very similar to this, right? I like to say new year, same you. If you got through 2020, there's things that you did to hold on to. Keep that grit up. Keep that social consciousness with your mask wearing and taking care of others. Keep up those healthy practices, right? Keep up that connection. We're really going to need to maintain and sustain before we get some of that relief that the vaccine and other things prepare. So kind of be thinking about your stamina a little bit longer than just the new year.
Yeah, it's really new year. Whatever you did worked. Let's not mess with it right away.
Exactly.
Small changes. We need to stick with what's working. Okay, well, so the name of this show is How to Be a Better Human. What is one idea or book or movie or piece of culture or anything that has made you a better human?
Oh, wow. What a lovely question. You said piece of culture, huh? And this might be a little left field, but it made me a better human. So, and you'll probably be familiar with this as a comedian, but in improv, the answer is always yes and. You know, you never say no when you're doing improv. I really like that stance. I think it's a little bit of metaphor for life, because what this year is teaching us is that we never had control. We never were in the driver's seat of this orchestration of things. And now we're just seeing it play out much broader. And so we have to say yes to life. And we have to kind of engage no matter what it gives us and where our power is and how we respond to it. And so in terms of something that's been getting me through the pandemic, it has been comedy, it has been humor, it has been leading into watching improvisational things online, and writing and playing improvisational. I play saxophone. So kind of just going with the unbeaten path and seeing where it takes you has made me a better human. It makes me listen better. It makes me speak less and actually feel that shared humanity because we're all in this mix and not knowing where it's going.
Imagine if you'd said, you're probably familiar with this concept, yes and I just said, no. But yes, I am very familiar. And I completely agree. I feel like it's definitely made me a better person too. I've often told people that I think studying and practicing improv is really just practicing good people skills. Like, how do you listen closely to someone else? How do you make them look good? How do you set them up for success? How do you avoid the awkward situation where they're left hanging and instead support them and give them the
spot on
what they need.
Spot on.
Thank you so much, Dr. Megan. It was just a pleasure to talk to you.
Anytime I get to share a little bit about my walk and the walk of others, it's a joy. So thank you, Chris.
Hey, that was fucking great. We might have to do some more of the TED Talk audio podcast deals.
She's all right. I wrote a few things down.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what you got? I saw you writing.
I've mentioned him before. I had this coach named Terry Thomas, who's a soccer coach, and I know Dr. K has this whole mentor program and mentee program. If I had ever think of somebody, or like she was saying, a person, a thing that had an influence on their life, it would have been this man, Terry Thompson. I was actually doing gymnastics, and my friend said, "Hey, man, you want to come to a soccer practice?" I said, "What's soccer?" Within 30 minutes of this practice, Beanz, I loved soccer. I was on his team. He knew where he wanted to put me. And throughout my soccer career, he was the calmest man I ever met, the most, smart, but calm, just perfect person to be a mentor. And he would put me in every single position on the field because he knew how to, I don't want to say use me, that's not the right word, but he knew and saw my talents. And if you're around people that don't see your worth, then you don't see your worth in a way. I'm not saying other people define you, but when other people are like, wow, you can really do this, come help me do this because I know you can do this, it pushes you. And when you have negative surroundings and negative people and those black pillars that everything's dark, that brings you down and it brings your success. And you don't see your worth because everyone else doesn't see it because you're around the wrong people. You're in the wrong surroundings, that's just a really passion of mine, is that if you're around negative people, you're going to have a negative life. If you do not have a good, solid daily routine where you wake up and say something positive to yourself, which is a big thing. What do you say to yourself when you wake up? Do you ask yourself questions? Man, is it going to be a good day or a bad day? Or do you wake up going, oh, man, it's going to be a bad day. I didn't get enough sleep. Don't do that, man. Wake up, make your bed, grab a cup of coffee and say, I'm going to kill today. What does Sir Cough-a-Lot say every single day, Beanz?
Make today your bitch.
Absolutely, 100%. And just in that, in one word sentence like that, you could wake up positive and be like, hell yeah, I am going to make today my bitch because I don't want to be the bitch.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's play a song and see where we're at with our morning. Let's go.
I got a coffee quick, but I'm good.
Absolutely. Cheers, everybody.
Wake up slow, let the morning shine. The Cove calls us, it's a peaceful sign. Coffee brewing, bowls packed tight. Gathering with ganja, everything feels right. Feet in the sand, hearts open wide. We're all connected, no need to hide. With every toke, the worries fade. Sunday mornings where love's displayed. Gather us with ganja, let the spirit flow. Feel the warmth from the highs we know. Together we rise with each slow exhale. In the Cove, good vibes prevail. Gather us with ganja, let joy abide. Peace and unity side by side. Breathe in deep, let your soul ignite. Together we shine in the morning light.
Wake up slow, let the morning shine. The Cove calls us, it's a peaceful sign. Coffee brewing, bowls packed tight. Gathering with ganja, everything feels right. Feet in the sand, hearts open wide. We're all connected, no need to hide. With every toke, the worries fade. Sunday mornings where love's displayed. Gather us with ganja, let the spirit flow. Feel the warmth from the highs we know. Together we rise with each slow exhale. In the Cove, good vibes prevail. Gather us with ganja, let joy abide. Peace and unity side by side. Breathe in deep, let your soul ignite. Together we shine in the morning light. Vibes prevail.
That's me. All right, everybody. This morning's company man will do Janko jeans.
I had to grab another sweater too. It's not warm.
It's not warm.
It's not cold, but it's not warm. You know what I mean?
Here we go.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Today's video is brought to you by Skillshare. The first two installments on my series on fads were about topics where I hadn't really experienced it firsthand. The first one was about fidget spinners, which were popular this year, but with a demographic much younger than myself. The second one was about the pet rock, which was popular more than a decade before I was born. So for this one, I wanted to cover something where I was actually part of the fad. And that's sort of the case with Janko. I'll get into that in a minute. But first, let's be clear about what we're talking about here. here. These are the pants from the 90s that were extremely wide. Some of the leg openings measured 50 to 60 inches. It's hard to envision exactly what that means, so let me say it like this. What's the waist size on your pants? Mine is 32, and they're a little loose fitting. The typical store doesn't sell much higher than maybe a 40 or 42 inch. So, as long as you're not dangerously overweight, Janko made jeans where the leg opening was wider than your waist size. And I'm guessing whatever pants you're wearing right now, the leg size isn't bigger than the waist size. I felt the need to explain what these were because their popularity was short-lived. The Fine Brothers made a video where teens reacted to them, and most of the teens had never seen them before. The rest of the video is basically these teenagers making fun of them, and I can see why. The style of these jeans is just about the exact opposite of what's popular today. There's nothing further from a pair of skinny jeans. But believe it or not, it was this exact same mentality that made them popular. In the words of Janko, they strive to challenge conventionalism, explore the unfamiliar, honor individuality. You have to respect something like that. I 100% agree. I recommend a movie called Dead Poets Society that delivers that exact same message in a much different way. But in either case, the message is clear. Janko began in the 80s, but it wasn't available to the public in a big way until the early 90s. It was founded by two men from France living in Los Angeles. The story goes that the Latino population around him was wearing these loose-fitting pants, and one of the two really liked the look. He liked it so much, it motivated him to build an entire clothing brand around it. The whole idea was to market toward those who wanted to stand out. If you're looking to make a statement with your jeans, these'll do it. They were sold primarily by a retailer called Merry-Go-Round, who went bankrupt in 1994 and liquidated all their stores in 1996. You could make the argument that this was the best thing that's ever happened to Janko. It motivated them to change their brand. They still weren't necessarily conventional, but now they were viewed as more of a brand for skaters. This change was a big part of what made them popular. Now it appealed to a larger group. It was available in a wider range of stores. It was soon available at PacSun, JCPenney. If you wanted to get a pair of Jankos, and a lot of people did, it wasn't all that hard. And because of this, their sales went way up. Look at their sales right after they made this change. These numbers are all estimates compiled from multiple sources, but I trust they provide an accurate picture. Janko became huge. They no longer appealed to those who wanted to stand out. In 1998, if you wanted to stand out, Janko wouldn't have done the job. Let me repeat that in a funnier way. In 1998, wearing these absurdly wide jeans with colorful graffiti-type designs on the pockets wouldn't have made you stand out. I'll tell you firsthand, I never had the intention of rebelling or standing out. In fact, when I wore these pants, my goal was to fit in. Everyone was wearing them. Now, I was only 7 or 8 years old, and I wasn't wearing anything too crazy, even by today's standards. We all like to look back at these ridiculous-looking jeans and, well, ridicule them. But the truth is, most of them weren't this extreme. Their best-selling sizes weren't nearly this big. I wasn't wearing anything much baggier than you would see from most other brands at the time. The thing that made them different for me was the crown on the back pocket. That's how the other kids on the playground knew you were cool. Some schools were even banning them, claiming they represented possible gang activity or that they were perfect for hiding weapons. Actually, yeah, they do seem like they would hide weapons pretty well. These kind of issues couldn't have been good for the brand, but imagine looking at a graph like this in 1998. You'd say this brand is going places. Well, you'd obviously be wrong. Sadly for Janko, it was all downhill after 1998. In 1999, the sales were nearly half of the previous year. In 2000, the people who owned Janko saw where the trend was going. They saw the styles changing and just kind of gave up on it. They shut down their main manufacturing plant and basically called it quits. You could say the fad was at its height in 1998 and completely over by 2000. Years later, a Chinese company became involved and are responsible for the recent 2015 comeback attempt. You can go on the Janko website today and buy jeans that look very much like the ones they sold back in the day, as well as some that look a little more modernized. Women too. If I go to their best sellers page, seems like mostly 22-inch leg openings, but scroll down a little and we see a 32-inch opening. Then a little further down in the fourth row, there's the 50-inch opening. This is a weird comeback. It was heavily covered by news outlets, but I honestly think they just used it as an excuse to talk about the brand and attract 90s kids to their article. I don't mean any offense if you wear Janko jeans or something like it, but there's no way these jeans are making great sales. The comeback was over 2 years ago, and I've yet to see anyone wearing them, or really even a similar style. There's a sentence on their website that I think perfectly describes their plan. Janko sets to defy the rules of streetwear and re-establish a brand and aesthetic that is purely in a class of its own. Looks like a very well thought out sentence. You may interpret it differently, but what I get from it is this. They're again trying to appeal to those who want to stand out and be unlike the others, but again, they would like for their brand to help change the popular fashion. So really do the same thing that they did the first time. And I would say this is probably the only thing they can do. They could change up their brand and make some thinner jeans, but that's not what they're known for. If that's the plan, might as well just change the name, because that Janko name represents thick legs. That was a weird sentence. It's that same reason that I don't blame them for their decline in the 90s. This style was a fad, and Janko became directly associated with it. When the fad died down, so did they. The only real way that I see to revive the company is to revive the fad. That statement applies in 1999 and it applies today. But remember, fashions are changing in the right direction for Janko. Skinny jeans aren't as popular as they once were, but some drastic changes still have to happen before you see people wearing these again. But looking back, I have to give them respect. They're much more than just a pair of jeans. The term fashion statement is very applicable. I want to take a second to thank Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Skillshare is an online learning community with more than 17,000 classes. Personally, I've been taking a bunch of different lessons here and there, but I specifically found this one helpful. It's taught me a lot of really helpful tips on how to better edit these videos and do it quicker. Or if you're not interested in editing, maybe you're into photography or writing. I know some of my viewers on this channel are interested in business. Well, they have those too, and with the Skillshare Premium membership, you get unlimited access to all of it. These are high-quality classes taught by experts working in their fields. It's more affordable than most learning platforms out there. An annual subscription is less than $10 a month. But for the month of January, they're offering 3 months for only 99 cents. To take advantage of that offer, simply go to the description section of this video and click the Skillshare link. But before you do that, let me know in the comments your thoughts about Janko jeans. Did you wear these? And if so, what were you thinking? I'm kidding, of course. I completely get it, but maybe try to explain it anyway for those who don't. I did my best, but these are hard to explain. And do you agree when I say their only chance to make a real comeback is to revive the fad? In the 90s, their target demographic was teenagers, but today it's people ages 18 to 35. Which happens to include myself and most of my viewers. It also includes many of the people who experienced this fad before. We're a perfect sample to speculate on the company's future, but also if you're not in this age range, feel free to go to the comments and make your jokes about them. I'd like to hear what you have to say. Real quick, do you want to know where they get the name Janko? I always say Janko, but it may be pronounced Jeanco. I've heard it both ways. But if you say Jeanco, it sounds exactly like Gene Co., as in Gene's company. That's one explanation. Another one is that it means Journey of the Chosen Ones. The popular explanation is the one given by the site itself. Judge none, choose one. Not exactly sure what it's supposed to mean, but it sounds like it has a deep meaning. Alright, thank you for watching.
Right. Judge one, judge none, choose one. It's kind of pretty self-explanatory. Choose the Janko. It means choose Janko, not another. I'm sorry. Was that not obvious? I mean, yeah,
I had a couple pairs, but they weren't like crazy. They were just like normal baggy jeans.
I actually couldn't wear Jankos because about a year or two into skateboarding, I seen people wearing them, and they actually got caught on your skateboards when you were trying to do tricks.
Yeah.
The openings were too big, so I might have worn the shirts in that, and they were cool. Don't get me wrong. I didn't find them functionable, and I was a hardcore skater from 13. Of course, almost all I did.
Amber says they relaunched them again in 2019.
Yeah,
like a new website and a line of American-made jeans.
They're good jeans. Don't get me wrong. They were actually really good apparel. And I'll tell you, the big ones, you don't know how big those back pockets are. Go look up the videos on the woman who actually tests how big the pockets are. You can hold about 4 2.6s in the back pockets. Not like I'd ever have that experience of doing that, or my friends would. But yeah, I'm just saying, why did they make all 2.6s out of glass? We could be walking up and down the streets with like fucking half a bar in our pants and nobody would know. Except for the cling, 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 cling. Like when you're like 16 going over to a sleepover and you put your backpack on and your parents hear the cling, 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 cling. We never did that.
Of course I don't have 40s in my backpack.
Yeah. And when the people got caught, the looks of the parents as they're pulling bottle after bottle out of your bag and putting them on the counter like, hey, this one's from our cabinet. My brother did the water switch. Do you know what the water switch is? Any clear alcohol, you switch out with like half water. So I went to like take my like Guardian's alcohol and drink it, and it was like nothing but water. I was like, you son of a bitch, you got something before me.
Yeah, I think that, well, I mean, I've definitely played that game. I don't know. I wouldn't want to say everybody has. But.
No, some people have. And they talk about, like, I love all these videos are always like, oh, and these are related to people who are year 18 to 35. And I'm like, you motherfucker. I'm like, every time I'm older by like almost 10 years. And it's just like, man, I'm getting old. Yeah. Genko is a great company, and they're very popular. And their ads were, good. Like, they actually advertised well is another thing. Companies that did well, at the time, right?
Hey, good morning, what man? How are you? I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful morning. Good morning, Mary. How are you? I hope you're having a wonderful morning. Oh, it is about that time, though.
Yeah, I'm good, bro.
And Sarah farewells and smoke one more and see everybody this afternoon.
Yeah. Always a good start to the end of the week, Beans. Love all the music and everything. Thank you so much, Vicki Bowers, for this day in history. Absolutely awesome. Hope you all had a good start to your Friday. Hope you had a good end to your week if it is the end to your work week. And we will catch you all this afternoon. Spread some love and positivity. Do something nice for a stranger. See you this afternoon.
Much love, everybody. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. It has been a wonderful, wonderful morning. Great this day in history. Great morning speaker. The TED Talk podcast deal was cool. Have to look into that a little more. Great company man segment. Make sure that you're following everybody on the Cove TV production team, from the Man-Bear to Sir Copsalot to Europe Entertainment, Europe to Magic and Kels. We are trying to get Magic and Kels over that 1K, so please make sure you are following them. Every invite and share and like and follow, it all helps. Got some chilling in the Cove this afternoon. We'll Marvel race. And then Basement Brawl tonight, and that will be on the Sir Copsalot page, the Europe Entertainment page, and the Cove TV YouTube. Other than that, it's been a wonderful morning. Thank you to everybody that helps support the Cove. It makes all this happen, and Cove TV is brought to you by viewers like yourself. Other than that, I don't have a whole lot. It's been a pretty chilling morning. I'm just gonna work on a few things around here and see everybody this afternoon. Much love, you guys. Thank you so much for watching the morning show.
Started with a story to share. Vicki B's history brought us there. From lessons past to hope anew, the morning speaker shared wisdom too. Cove TV's been your morning delight, bringing good vibes to start the day right. To all who watched and shared their time, you made this morning simply sublime. Simply sublime. Thank you for watching, you make it bright. Cove TV brings the morning light. From Beanz to Man-Bear, we've shared the groove. With you, the mornings always improve. The mornings always improve.
Baby, awake and bake, that's the plan. Your smiles, your laughs, your spirit's so kind. You're the reason Cove mornings shine. From Beanz' beats to Man-Bear's cheer, the vibe we share is always clear. We're grateful for you, our audience so true. Cove mornings wouldn't shine without you. Wouldn't shine without you. Thank you for watching, you make it bright. Cove TV brings the morning light. From Beanz to Man-Bear, we've shared the groove. With you, the mornings always improve. The mornings always improve. It's more than a show, it's a family we've grown. A place where positivity's always shown. With every sunrise, we'll meet anew. Cove TV mornings are thanks to you. Thanks to you. For watching, you make it bright. Cove TV brings the morning light. From Beanz to Man-Bear, we've shared the groove. With you, the mornings always improve. The mornings always improve. Watching Cove morning shine because of you, because of you.
Much love, everybody. We'll catch you guys this afternoon.